Hey everyone, it's Ty, your kitchen table scrapper. I thought I would take you a little behind the scenes today and show you what I do to get my space ready to scrap. Okay, if you're new here, I scrap only at my kitchen table or kitchen island slash table, and I take my stuff to retreats. I live in a very tiny home. Well, it's not a tiny house, but it's like 900 square feet. It does not have an office or craft room or anything like that. So for me, it is not practical to drag my stuff out and leave it. Like I have to have things where I can easily bring them out and then easily put them away. So my kitchen table slash island, I'm going to show you, it's life, right? Like things happen, and I have a husband who doesn't always share my vision of having everything perfectly clear. And frankly, I have a chaos corner too. I like all my stuff really organized. If any of y'all follow Cass from Clutterbug, she's got that 4 Clutterbug style quiz you can take. Highly encourage you to do that. I can link that in the description. But apparently I'm a cricket, which makes sense in terms of crickets like everything put away, and they like systems behind the scenes. So I thought, gosh, that's so true. And crickets have a little bit of a perfectionist tendency in that if they don't know what to do with something, they'll pile it to deal with later. And I thought, oh my God, she's so seeing me. So while I have a lot of spaces in my home, like really ticked and tied, I still have a chaos corner, clutter corner. And I wanted to show you today kind of what I have to do in order to get my scrap space ready. Okay, stay tuned and enjoy this segment. Okay, here we are at my kitchen island, and I'm trying to use Dana K. White's decluttering method. And the first thing she says is just pick up everything and ask, where does this go? So those were some planters that I won in a local contest, which was kind of fun. And they had been sitting on the kitchen counter for a little while, and I really wasn't sure where they should go. So I just took them out to the back patio because I know they will end up there eventually. Receipts and obvious trash. That's the next thing that she does in her decluttering method. So here I am just found a receipt that was an old empty envelope. Here I am going through some old papers from a conference I recently went to. So you'll see me make pretty quick decisions on, is this a keep or a go? This was actually a folder of some things pertaining to my work, and I keep some different reports and stuff in there. So I had a new version of a report, and I wanted to take out the old versions and only keep the new one. And that's a certificate from when I was certified as one of the Gallup Clifton Strengths, formerly StrengthsFinders coaches. So I'm one of their coaches. That's something I do in I was going to say my real life, but maybe it's my other life, the life that makes money so that I can have a scrapbook hobby. These were some papers from a client I recently worked at. I had printed them out because I needed them in our workshop, but I don't need them anymore. And I thought I needed to hang on to that, but then realized I already have that in soft copy, so no need hanging on to it. There's more things. That was a card from my dear friend and podcast host, Kyla, who was congratulating me on getting the audiobook out there. How fun, right? Those are some binder clips. I love them so much. They're rose gold colored, which there's no saying that, or, there's no rule that office supplies have to be boring. I'm like, if I'm going to use it, I want things that are fun and kind of burgundy, rose gold. Those are all colors in my work brand palette. And so it's just fun. Okay, so that's a particular stack of client files from one particular client. I've actually got 3 different coachees that I'm working with. I do some executive coaching, and so those are the notes that I want to have just for my whenever, for my reference, whenever we're talking. You see me going back to that media console under the TV. In that far right section, there are kind of my more permanent files, and one of them is like medical stuff, insurance stuff. So you'll see me go and put some stuff away there. You saw me pick up the vitamin pack. Obviously, my husband and I both had our vitamin pill containers in the kitchen this morning, which that's not where they lived. And then you saw me hold up a book. I love books so much, and I recently just purged a whole bunch of books, but I do have a couple that are in my to read pile. And that was one of the new ones I just got. That red folder, and I'll show you a close up here, that is what I consider my true action folder. So as I'm going through these papers, I'm taking some stuff out that had been in there that has had action taken on it, or it still needs action taken. So I'll leave it in there and then add just a couple of things to it and then put it back in the folder. That's a red leather folder from Levenger. I love it so much because it's super sturdy and it's red. So for me, that means action. So the only things that go in there need my attention. That's another folder of client notes. That was a Levenger notepad, which I love so much. And I promise I'm not an affiliate for Levenger. They just have really quality products. And that clipboard was actually full of scrapbook ideas and ideas for this little segment. And also, I'll show y'all in a future segment. It's got how I keep lists chronologically of what I have completed and what I have yet to complete. So here I am just putting some more client folders in a specific file folder. I use those binder clips a lot. Okay, what I'm showing you here, this cute polka dot folder, it's from Kate Spade. I love Kate Spade office supplies. Again, why have just dull old file folders if you don't have to? So get fun file folders that make you smile. Those notes I just picked up, I recorded a podcast, or I was a guest of a podcast yesterday because I wrote a book, A Life Aligned, Keys to Transform Your Work and Life. And the podcast notes were actually really helpful. And so I wanted to store them in the book for the next time I'm on a podcast or speaking about the book. Okay, here I am. I've got a new client that I'm coaching, and so I wanted to make him a file folder. I usually write the name of the person on a sticky note and then put it on the file folder tab. And that way I don't have to, write over, or it's much easier to change file folders when I need to. Like when I'm finished with that client, I can just throw everything away. This is my daily journal that I keep. Again, I like cheeky things that said smartass on the front. And here I am. Those are my 2 books in my to read pile. So my current bookshelf is a little bit out of my reach, but I have this cute collapsible ladder. So I was able to get on the ladder and just stretch because I'm a hobbit. And then put those books away. My trash can is getting full. So what you'll see is in real life, this took only 15 minutes. And now my scrap space is clear. My kitchen counter is cleared off.